have a break for the audience. You can state your point of informations to any of the debating teams, or you can state facts. You have 10 minutes. Does anyone have any questions? Yes?
Okay, next was the
Okay, I have two questions, one for the proposition team and one for the opposition team. To start with, the proposition team. Okay, so by legalizing embryo screening, you're giving the power to the doctors to keep on doing this. Some doctors may accidentally or on purpose, okay, enhance some negative things to the embryos, things like cancer, okay, just to keep you in this vicious cycle, just to get your money. Okay, so how do you deal with that? The other question to the opposition team. Okay, what's so bad about choosing your dream baby? What's so bad about choosing the baby who will grow up and be good in shape, be athletic, be a great performer? What's so bad in this? Okay, so God created us to have minds to think for a better better world, better future. What's bad in this thing? Thank you.
Team members, you can answer them now or in your debating speech.
Okay, so proposition team is answering.
I would like to say that first of all, this has to do with ethics and morality, not embryo screening in general. Also, parents would never allow doctors to harm their children. What kind of parents would allow that? Of course, they would keep track of everything the doctor's doing. They would ask and know and ask other doctors. Of course, they're not going to get only one doctor's opinion about what to do with their child. So, embryo screening shouldn't be not legalized just because some doctors have moral ethics. Their medical license should be taken from them and they shouldn't be allowed to practice, and it has nothing to do with embryo screening. Thank you.
Okay, so before the opposition team answers, I would like to point out that the teams cannot address point of information to the other team during the audience time. This is the audience time. Okay. Okay. Next, opposition team is answering.
Answering your question for what's so bad about choosing your dream baby. Let's just imagine for a while people choosing their baby's genes, their preferred genes, and the outcome of this would be all the babies perfect, look like each other, having the same genes, and by meaning of a perfect child, what would be the need of the other people living surrounding him that were not medically chosen or medically engineered? I mean, we are here continuing each other as a society, and when trying to change what God's creation is, we will have a diminished genetic pool, and all the people will be the same, not needing for each other. Thank you.
Okay, so another question. So you had something to say? Okay,
Mike.
I wanted to ask to the opposition team, who would want to live a life where he's always depending on others? Do you think you're doing them a favor by not legalizing embryo screening? I mean, parents, after all, want their kids to live a happy life, not a disabled life.
Okay, opposition team.
You can answer now. You can answer in your debating speech.
Okay, so opposition team is answering now.
I guess we have a life example for this. I mean, in the society, disabled people live among us, and we don't see them suffering like they live happily and they can manage living dependently. I mean, a Down syndrome mother, a Down syndrome woman got married to a mental disabled person, and they were able to naturally conceive a healthy child. They are starting a family, and now they live independently. What do you mean by your question?
You said you don't see them suffering. That doesn't mean they don't actually suffer.
Who doesn't suffer in this life?
The parents. The parents.
So do you have any other question? Okay, thank you. Okay, Nadim?
I have a question for the proposition team. I'm talking about in vitro fertilization. It's the same case. It started out as a solution for women who can't bear a child, and so we can give a child to women that can't bear a child. But then you now have sperm banks, and women go and choose their child. So how can you ensure that? And I'm sure there was laws legalizing the situation, and nonetheless it got out of hand. How can you ensure that embryo screening won't get out of hand?
First of all, this is a debate about embryo screening, not legalizing sperm donating and such. And the other team keeps accusing that.
Okay, so this is your first warning. No accusations. You address the chairman, okay? Or the audience. Now you're addressing the audience.
Sperm donating is just a way for parents to pick and choose what qualities to give to their children. And it's legalized in many countries. So their debate should be against legalizing sperm donations and not embryo screening. And by putting regulations and laws on embryo screening and unlegalizing things like abortions and sperm donating, things like that, it could be put into perspective and easily controlled, and thus preventing parents or doctors or anyone from abusing this power or using it for vain purposes. Thank you.
Okay, so we have time for one more question.
I have a question for the opposition team and a question for the proposition team. The first question for the proposition team is, what if I do know that my child has an incurable congenital disorder, like Down syndrome or whatnot? What should I do next? Should I kill him? Your argument leads to another, more controversial argument, that of abortion. Now, my question is for the opposition team. I have noticed that the opposition team relies mostly on the argument of God and His will, His divine will. Now, how do you know that? How do you know what God wants? And secondly, now what if hold on. Now, why do embryonic screening is a way of less of a diagnostic method and more of a research method, which I know why do people develop such diseases. So why should I cancel such a thing? Why should I make it illegal? And also, why have you not discussed about the harms of it towards the mother? Thank you.
Okay. So, proposition team, are you answering now? Okay.
Okay. First of all, as I said, abortion is not synonymous with embryo screening. Abortion, as I said, should be controlled by governments, and it's not controlled by medical laws. And other than that, embryo screening gives you more time to anticipate what you're going to have as a child. And so I don't think that it gives abortion an option. And other than that, I've also stated that the rules that the Swiss Prime Minister's healthcare secretary has stated, that if the parents are financially unable to support the child, the government will. Of course, suggesting that it's a first world country.
Okay, thank you. That answers your question, I think. Okay, opposition team.
First of all, nobody knows anything about the future. So your question was, how do you know what God knows? I mean, what God wants. Yeah.
Mike.
Okay, let's go on.
And about the dangers on the mother's life, this debate isn't over yet. So sit tight and relax. We're going to debate this topic.
We've got this.
Yeah, we've got this.
Okay, so that's it for the audience time. Back to our debate. Third proposition.